Crumb. Hello, welcome. Hopefully we can see everybody. Hopefully everything works. See, hopefully the chat works. Hopefully everything works.
Yeah, live stream's working. I had it on. I could hear you.
All right. Awesome. Yes, welcome to World of Conan, all you wild barbarians out there, from the north of Vanaheim down to the south of the Black Kingdoms, and to the mysterious Kitai, and to the Barakan Isles. But no, please. So we'll so welcome brothers Krynn, the men from the West, the Tolkien extravaganza, the guys who know everything about Tolkien and more than I'll ever know about anything else.
Not everything. Not everything. Trying to know everything. Trying to know everything.
Trying to know everything. All right. Well, anyway. Yeah, man. It's good to see you. It was such a fun time when we did the last chat we had on your channel. That was a lot of fun. Like 2 hours flew by like that. It was like
pleasure was all mine.
Yeah, same. It's fun to talk about these things. Just don't really have the chance to talk about it like in real life with anybody. It's like you ask someone, have you read Howard? It's like, who's Howard? It's like, or have you read any fantasy? It's like, no. It's like there's no one who reads.
In my neck of the woods, there are people I ask, have you ever read fantasy? And they go, what's fantasy?
Yeah.
It's just like, you're breaking my heart here.
Yeah, or even something close to that. Like sometimes, like have you like I watch occasionally anime or something. Like, have you watched anime? It's like, no. Have you played any video games? No. It's like I can't seem to make any. Well, then like music. Does anyone listen to metal music or something? No. It's like, okay, I don't have anyone to talk to about basically anything. So it's like you talk about basic stuff.
Outside of my brother, I have to travel 2 hours to talk to someone about fantasy and whatnot before I'll run into someone who's heard of it or anything about it. It's like,
it's crazy. It's like, even though you figure like it's really a popular genre, like fantasy, like books. I mean, it's like hasn't Tolkien has sold like incredible amounts of books.
100 and Tolkien has sold 150 copies of Lord of the Rings worldwide and 150 million copies worldwide and 40 million copies of The Hobbit.
Yeah.
And I think somewhere around 50 to 100 million. I'm not sure about the exact numbers for the Silmarillion, but it's somewhere like that.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah, Howard has sold upwards of almost, I think, like more than a few dozen million copies, but like, yeah, like with fantasy, you have to go really out of your way to find someone in us Arctic northern countries to find someone who knows, who cares.
Yeah.
But what's interesting is apparently in the US, like you travel around and a lot of them are actually very familiar with the genre and with Howard. He's from the US.
Yeah.
That's really cool. But here in Canada, we're basically an American colony here and no one's heard of him, and it's so weird.
Yeah, I would think that Howard would be pretty known in Texas.
Yeah.
I think, because he's from Texas.
Grimdark's from Texas, and I've got a few other friends from
nice.
Texas, and they all love Howard. He's
Yeah,
every
yeah. It's like
and
your yeah.
hello to those in the chat. Silver Wave and Silhouetted Animator.
Oh, it's still
Sorry
away.
about your uncle.
So,
Sorry, I just read that
all right.
his uncle apparently passed. So sorry about that.
Oh man, I'm so sorry.
But
Yeah, yeah, that's crazy. It's like I actually I bought thinking about that chat from Silhouette. I also bought some Savage Sword of Conan, those paperbacks, the collected ones from Dark Horse, and they were on sale because the guy was from a famous metal band, actually, from Celtic Frost, the bass player. He was like 50 years old or something, and he had just passed away. And I bought his Conan collection, and which was kind of cool. Like in that, not cool that he died. That's awful. It's really sad. But like that there was that he had like Conan stuff. It was kind of like, oh, interesting. Yeah, those Dark Horse trades are going up in price. Yeah, but I don't know. They're so beautiful. Like the where's I don't have it on my hand right now. But they look so fantastic. Like the big art. Usually it's like the classic art. A lot of the new Marvel paperbacks. Well, not the paperbacks per se. The hardcovers. They got this modern art on the classic comics of Conan. That's kind of weird. Kind of like throws me off a bit. So I don't know. These Dark Horse paperbacks are really cool with classic art. But yeah, those are going up in price. But I really recommend them though, because you can still get them for like
yeah,
50 or something.
sorry, I was looking up how many copies of Conan have been sold worldwide, but
Yeah.
I couldn't find it. But there's an interesting comment. Conan is a more mature character. It's hard to make him child friendly. Actually, Dan and I recently watched the cartoon, and like the first episode, and we found it very, because you had commented that it wasn't very good.
Well, no. I meant the live action one. The live action one.
Oh, okay. Well,
not the animated one.
yeah, we ended up taking a look at the animated one and found it too kid friendly and very jarring
Right.
to watch, because it was so peculiar. But the animation and art was beautiful.
Yeah, that's why I wanted to watch it. Like, it looks really cool.
It looks like the first episode's story is all over the place and almost funny.
Yeah.
We laughed more than anything, but
yeah,
but the visuals were just like I studied animation for a year, and like
cool.
the animation in this show was just so very, very good.
Right.
And it was something that was like, wow. Like, and Dan and I spent like 20 minutes debating, was it 80s or 90s? And then he's like, no, it's too good to be in the 80s. And we then switch over. Then we found out it's 90s, so it's really good.
80s anime is so beautiful though. So.
Oh yeah, 80s animated series are very beautiful.
Yeah. Especially though the Japanese ones, like
Gundam, Zeta Gundam.
Oh yeah. Oh,
Dragon Ball Z. They look great.
Yeah, it's a hand-drawn thing, You can really see, because it's hand-drawn. It's like all the details. It's whoa.
Yeah, they actually look a lot better than a lot of today's stuff, which is very interesting. But yeah, like as to Conan,
I found one of these.
Ooh,
that's the Dark Horse. So it's got these kind of classic. It's not modernized the cover art. There's great ones. Then
Solomon Kane.
I've been holding off reading this one because of all these stories first. I haven't gotten around to it yet. All of them. Read most of
And
them.
congrats on getting to 1K
yeah.
subs.
I completely forgot. I was like, I was just talking about whatever, like all kinds of stuff. So I'm like, oh yeah, right. Thank you guys so much for the 1K subs, guys. That's amazing. That's really just started with for fun, like a hobby. I didn't a year before I didn't see any Conan related channels. It aren't really still there aren't really like completely Conan focused channels really. I know of one channel, Conan Chronicles, but I think they're so pro those videos. They feel like they made them before in like a radio setting, and then they hired a great editor and just pushed them out like in few weeks, because the amount of work you would do for one of the videos like this an hour long for the Frost Giant's daughter. It's an hour long video with all visuals, everything, and like a story, like they're telling the tale and they're intersecting like things from Vietnam War and all kinds of stuff, like for explaining post trauma or trauma and stuff like that. And so
Wow.
it's like that, like it's like these guys are pushing out these videos in like one in a week or even earlier. I'm like, that's not possible. Like in that, I mean, I guess it could be like if you just work on it like all the time. But I mean, there's so much stuff in their videos, and they're like coming out clockwork. But now they've stopped after there hasn't been a video in 2 months.
Oh,
So I think it's like they had all this stuff like ready from radio or something, and then they hired an editor to do the visuals, and then they pushed them out, and then because they have the music from the movie, and I know that's copyrighted. So, but they play that music every time in the beginning. I also did that for my first video, but it got like copyrighted immediately.
oh,
So I think they must have some kind of, I don't know, deal, or they don't care, or they're, like I said, like a bigger, I don't know, radio show that's done really like a really professional job. I don't know. But anyway,
okay.
that's like
Never knew about them.
yeah, that's like the only Conan centric channel that I know right now. But they've joined like this year, I think. They started their channel.
Yeah, a lot of
So there hasn't really been a
there,
Conan centric. Just Conan, I mean. I mean, obviously Grimdark is now doing a lot of Conan stuff. Like he's
yeah.
going deep. Like I don't even know where he gets his stuff. Like in about some vampires.
Oh, yep. Again. Pull up a seat.
Sorry I'm late.
No problem.
But
Problem here.
yeah, it's like, so there's Grimdark. He's probably he's one of the top ones out there. He's really good. We were
Yeah.
originally trying to get him on this show, but well, he's busy, so would have been great. But he's got a lot on his plate from what he told me. And so yeah, I'll have to check out Conan Chronicles.
When he has time, he can join like
Yeah.
on a later date. That's so cool. Yeah, but like I said, that's like the only channel I know like completely. I mean, there's obviously other people have done Conan videos before, but I just didn't find a Conan centric channel before I started. So that's why I kind of like why isn't there a Conan channel? Like why isn't it Howard channel or stuff like that?
It's rife for a lot of like the Conan world. The Hyborian Age is rife with a lot of possible content for a lot of videos and whatnot. Like well, you have Grimdark, he's obviously doing a lot. Conan Chronicles, there's you and us. Like there's so much stuff that I don't think we're ever going to run out of possible material for videos and live streams and whatnot.
No, yeah.
There's,
I mean, taking all the extra content. I mean, if it was only about the original 21 stories, I think we would run out pretty fast. Kind of.
Well,
Maybe.
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 But like we've been like Dan and I have only been doing content on the original Howard stuff, and we still have boatloads of stuff we're still working our way through after only a few months, and it's
Oh yeah, there's a Conan audiobook channel. Yeah, that guy's that guy's good. Yeah, what was his name?
that one's really good.
What was his name? Forgot it.
Same.
Yeah. Oh, but anyway, yeah, I was wondering where Grimdark gets his like vampire lore and stuff stuff like that. Where does he dig? He digs deep somewhere. Vampire lore in the Hyborian Age. It's like, huh? That's interesting. Interesting stuff.
Wasn't there one of the wasn't there a vampire in the Hour of the Dragon?
Yeah, we talked about it. Yeah, Akivasha. Yeah, was she kind of like the undead queen or something like? Yeah, she was thousands of years old, from all the way from Kull's age time. I mean, I think that's why they are. She was the villain in the movie.
Yep.
That was Akivasha. Yeah. So I guess.
And kudos to them for picking a really good actress to portray her.
Oh yeah. Yeah, what happened to her? She kind of disappeared.
Yeah, I
loved her.
really
She was in True Lies, the Arnold Schwarzenegger movie.
Oh yeah, that one. Didn't that one come out before?
Yeah, like 94.
Yeah. For us Canadians, we know her also from Relic Hunter, the very obscure.
Oh yeah, no, I know. I watched that.
Okay.
Oh
well,
man,
it's a little popular here in Canada, but
that was a cheesy show. Cheesy show.
Yeah, very cheesy. It was a bit like Indiana Jones.
Dude, I laughed so hard when she went up against some what was it? Some demon guy, and he looked like a black metal guy. I just laughed. I just laughed so much. He looked like your average metal fan with corpse paint. It was so funny. It was hilarious.
Well, it was the 90s, so they could get away with a lot of cheesy stuff.
Yeah, like the Conan TV show.
Yeah. But, I wonder if... Oh. Yeah, it does rip off Tomb Raider.
Yeah. Except, is she a teacher in Relic Hunter?
Yeah, I think she was.
Yeah.
I can't remember. It's been like 20 years since I watched it.
Lara Croft wouldn't care. She doesn't. She just wants to shoot stuff and find stuff.
Then again, would Conan care? He's kind of the OG because he was always delving into all these tombs and tunnels and tomb raiding and whatnot.
But there must
very typical stuff in Hyboria.
But there must have been like a lot of that stuff before Conan, like tomb raiding and stuff like that, because that was pretty famous for happening in Egypt. Like a lot of the tombs would be raided for.
So that eventually the priesthoods began removing all the sarcophaguses or sarcophagi from the pyramids and the public tombs and into secret ones up in the mountains, I think. That way they could keep them away from treasure hunters, because the treasure hunters tended to not exactly show respect to the ancient pharaohs. So that
did they also do traps and stuff like that? Yeah.
But apparently once activated, like the next batch of treasure hunters would then move past those.
Yeah, right. Oh yeah, that's true.
So that started to be a problem.
Yeah, that wouldn't really work long term. No long-term problem. Or there would be a long-term problem.
Ooh, there's a great idea for a video.
Love to see a video on Conan's chronology as he aged, but only the Robert E. Howard stuff. The old website Barbarian Keep had a couple of them. Oh yeah. I know what you're talking about. Yeah, there's a couple of those chronology as he aged. there's quite, yeah, you gotta find like one that's only Robert E. Howard, because most of them incorporate El Sprog the Camp and Lynn Carter's stuff. So you have to kind of like take only if you want to do the Howard only. But I have thought about that. I actually
Yeah, same.
kind of. But that's
But-
that could be quite a lot of work. Like if you're gonna go through everything. Well, depends how you do it, but that could be like an hour long video or longer.
Yeah,
If you actually want to go to details and stuff.
and take quite a bit of time to edit,
Yeah, and do the script.
which it's like just editing is just always takes hours and hours. So,
Yeah,
but it is a good idea for a really good video. So definitely gonna have to look into
yeah.
that.
definitely.
And
Definitely.
have you read the latest Marvel King Conan where he's shipwrecked on the island of Thoth?
I got the 3 first issues. I haven't read them yet. I wanted to get the uncensored girl, and they changed the art to something else. It was still native, so I was stupid. So before Marvel cancelled the whole, where you can't get it anymore except used. So I bought the original one before it went out of print. Yeah, that's sad stuff nowadays. Somebody has a problem, it's immediately thought of as like the worst thing ever, and they go and change the original art. You know, that's companies for you. They want their PR. Do you think Silver Wave? Have you read it? Good. I heard kind of mixed messages. I heard say it's not the problem with modern Marvel. They kind of the Conan is not really in line with Howard's Conan. He's like they kind of take out the edge. Like I heard from this King Conan, this 6-run issue or series, and gets yelled at by his son, and he just takes it like that. That's not gonna like he would be like, shut up. What are you talking about? I'm your father. He wouldn't let.
Conan would probably punch him.
Yeah, exactly.
Just think,
Mouthing
if
off.
son talks back to his father like Conan, Conan will make sure he's properly disciplined.
Yeah, you don't mouth off to Conan.
At the same time, this might sound weird, but I can't imagine a scenario where Conan would have raised his son to actually.
Yeah,
I don't think he'd raise him to have a lack of backbone, but he'd be like, you don't talk back to me.
Yeah.
But on the other hand,
Exactly.
it's like I kind of imagine Conan would have the same kind of relationship with his son that, like in the movie, his dad has with him. You know, like it might seem weird, but I kind of imagined that if Conan the King, you know, the third Arnold Schwarzenegger movie got made and they brought in Khan, you'd have like Conan who'd give that same opening speech that his dad gave to him to his own son.
Yeah.
That's kind of how I always imagined Conan and Khan.
Yeah, or like give that speech, but then modified a bit with him telling the actual riddle to the steel. Like his father didn't, he got it wrong. The whole movie is his father got it wrong. Thulsa Doom got it wrong, but Conan got at the end.
I'm gonna argue the dad got it right, if in a metaphorical sense, like the sword as the extension of your own individual will,
right,
and whatnot. And that I like the idea that he did know, but he didn't, like, because of like the sword is more a hint. Like this you can trust because it's an extension of you in a way. And the idea is he's not going to give all the answers because you got to figure it out yourself, and you got to forge yourself. Like will is everything, but you have to discover that will on your own.
Mm.
I don't know if that's weird or doesn't make sense, but
No.
that said,
The steel, like he said, he focuses on the steel, like he says, this you can trust. So it go two ways with that, with the will or the sword. But I think they, at least the movie, for me at least, it seems like they hint at the riddle of steel, because at the fight before the last fight, Conan breaks his father's sword, showing that you cannot trust the steel. The steel will fall, the steel will break, but Conan, in his willpower, will go on. He will conquer. And at the end, when he has that final, and in the early days, or in the early days, no, I mean, when I was younger, I kind of like was, oh man, it's kind of sad there's not a big fight, like a big battle with the magician at the end. But now when I'm older, I'm like, this is so awesome. Like, this is all the forethought that Milius had, the director, to make the end not a battle, but a battle of willpower between the antagonist and the protagonist. Like, not just a basic, oh, I'm going to throw fireballs at you and I'm going to, and bringing the theme of the movie together and showing, and there, when Conan is about to fall to the power of Thulsa Doom, he breaks through with his willpower and he kills Thulsa Doom, and thus shows that it's not flesh, as Thulsa Doom said, and it's not steel, as his father said.
it's will.
But it's the willpower.
Willpower and spirit.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I would definitely agree.
I know I'm probably a broken record, but I think I could see Conan kind of still keeping it a bit of a, you got to figure it out on your own, son, kind of thing. Like, you have to prove yourself worthy of the riddle and figure it out on your own. I can't just give you all the answers because, everybody has to figure it out for themselves.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I do see that kind of like close-knit bond between father and son, so that the son, it's weird, but I can't imagine Khan yelling back at his dad. I imagine him more, might be weird, but kind of hero worshiping his dad. Kind of like how Conan at the beginning of the movie hero worships his own father.
Right.
And
one would take his son and all that stuff, like Sumerian stuff.
Yeah.
Coddled, because that wouldn't be a good in the end.
Yeah, because like in the medieval times, taking your son, like kings would often take their sons hunting and to prayer, and like the sons, the princes, the crown princes often followed their dad around a lot. Yes, he received a court education, but when it came to physical activities, every physical activity was typically spent with the father. So that oftentimes, not all the time, but quite a few times, historically, crown princes and kings would form a close-knit bond between them. But you did get some relationships which were just purely toxic. But this is one I imagine Conan would not trust anyone with the care of his heir, except maybe Zenobia. But like, it'd be like, no one's taking care of my crown prince except me, because I don't trust the court.
Yeah, I mean, Conan did have a few very trusted men. He had Palantides,
Prospero,
Prospero, and then the priest what the priest name was. Was it Argus? Or something with A?
I can't remember. Maybe
I
Scipio.
can't remember. Yeah, doesn't sound
Oh,
familiar.
okay.
But I don't know. But anyway, he had like 3 guys who were really
Yeah, they'd probably be trusted with the kid, but at the same time, I do see Conan having the attitude, you gotta go make something of yourself, son. But for the first 10 years of the kid's life, he's going to be like, I got to be careful with this kid. No one can be allowed to kill him. But after that, it's like, all right, son, here's your sword. Like, go make something of yourself.
Yeah.
And
Yeah, he would
that's
be
an interesting question.
He would be a target. Conan, so he would be a great,
Yeah.
big target, because no, I forget which book it was. Not in the original Howard stories, but in the extra stories or the new stories. When Conan has taken the throne, of course, in the original stories as well, there's a lot of backstabbing going on and trying to kill Conan and stuff like that. So I would imagine there would be the same with Khan, trying to kill him before he can assume the throne.
Especially if there are sons of other concubines or something who are not as favored. And so, you've got, the thing is, whoever controls the heir controls the kingdom's future. So that, and that's where if you kill Conan, you could claim Khan and raise him how you want. But if you kill Khan, who's starting to become more and more molded more and more into Conan's vision of what an heir should be, then they're going to try to get rid of him to replace him with another heir.
And that kind of stuff gets bloody and ugly.
Yeah.
If you take a look at the Wu dynasty of China, that's what happened.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can imagine. Crazy stuff. I mean, it did.
But I really like.
Go ahead.
I really like this question by Silver Wave. I wonder what John Milius had planned for the next 2 films if he had made them. That's a very good question.
It's kind of, why didn't he make? Or why? I got to read up on that. What happened? Why didn't he make the next ones?
That's a very good question.
I'm so glad they didn't make the original story. What they were trying to make, the Oliver Stone story, before it got changed. It was like a post-apocalyptic story. It was really weird. Think Mad Max with Conan and stuff.
Gosh.
There's something like really weird. I was like, ooh, thankfully that didn't get made. So
no.
It's weird stuff. But yeah, new.
Okay. Oh wow.
2 new million. All right, yeah. John Milius is really old right now, so it's too. They tried to make it. They just the guys who hold the rights did it too. So it didn't get made.
Yeah, he is really old. 78 years old.
I mean, I was just reading the chat, but it said he got.
Looks like he retired.
Like he was working on King Conan before he had a stroke. So yeah, that would be hampered the thing.
Wow. So just looking at some of his credits, and wow, he's done a lot of work. Well, wow, he helped create Rome, the series.
Yeah, he did Red Dawn as well, I think. How do you get?
Ooh.
Thanks for the question, Garrett Christensen. How do you think a new version of Conan film should be done? I personally see 5 films covering all his stages of life: Thief, Mercenary, Pirates. Whoa, yeah, King Conan deserves a Peter Jackson. Yeah,
Please no.
Dude.
I'd rather not see someone butcher Conan.
no, I mean if it would.
No, I agree with the thief, mercenary, pirate, scout, king thing, but I just mean Peter Jackson to butcher this Conan. No, thank you. I'm sorry, I can't resist saying it.
I like the Peter Jackson.
I'm not
but
fond of
then again,
Jackson.
I'm not I don't know much about Tolkien's lore, so that's why I like the movies, probably. But I would like this if done, but that's questionable now.
Yeah.
That's questionable now. But that would otherwise be insanely good. But
Yeah,
we
it
spoke
would.
about this earlier. I think it's so easy to do a great Conan movie. Like seriously, you take the original stories. Like we talk about, it's really enclosed. A lot of like one two location, awesome killer movie, horror, suspense, bloody action, mystery, and stuff like that. That would be like perfect, and it wouldn't cost like hundreds of millions of dollars. But I have like a guy who's really actually passed the original story and has a vision. Not like the guy who did the modern. That I don't know how they got that guy directed. The dude makes like C-level movies. He makes such pedestrian movies. I don't get how role of making that movie.
Don't know. But what I like about Garrett Christensen's suggestion is it's a very interesting one because 5 films covering different stages. Thief, that could be like Elephant Tower. Mercenary, I don't know. Pirate could be Queen of the Black Coast. Scout, probably something like Red Nails. King, probably like Hour of the Dragon.
Yeah, or the why am I blanking now? The Black River one would be Scout, where he's depicts because they're being unruly. Unruly.
Then instead of Mercenary, maybe the Red Nails there instead.
Yeah. It could also be. Well, I mean, he was basically he was mercenary until they promoted him to. I mean, he's still a mercenary. He's not from. So.
No.
Black Colossus would be insane, but that would cost like epic levels of money. That would be insane.
I kind of see Hour of the Dragon though. Maybe that would have to be a mini series, like a 5-hour to 6-hour movie, because
that's true.
Because there's just so much ground to cover, so much stuff that happens. Like I've not yet read Hour of the Dragon, but I did read just a summary a little, and wow, there's a lot that goes down. So many different villains, rogues, and battles and whatnot. So I don't know how you could cover that in maybe an hour or two. Actually, in hindsight, much as I'm not the fondest of Peter Jackson, maybe in hindsight, given that he was originally a horror director, maybe he could do a really good Red Nails or Elephant Tower film. You might be able to pull that off.
Yeah.
Maybe I was too critical of him.
Did you mean a specific director?
Yeah, like him as a director. Like he was more a horror guy.
Wait.
In the 90s.
Who did you say?
Peter Jackson.
Oh, Peter Jackson. Oh, right, yeah. No, I think he would do. Or Guillermo del Toro could do.
Yeah.
He tried to do a H.P. Lovecraft movie, but they shut him down at the Mountains of Madness. Tried for years and years and years. Passion project. It seems my audio is cutting out a bit. Sorry, guys. My connection is bad. I don't know. There's a bit of a storm out here right now. Or I just got bad internet.
Well, normally here in
let's
Canada,
see.
we've got a storm or bad connection.
Past few days, we've had rather large storms.
Yeah, and our internet's cut out in and out the past 2 weeks.
I see
A lot.
Spectre.
But now,
Spectre, fellow Dune fan. I'm a big Dune.
Ooh. Welcome,
Mm,
Spectre.
I know much more about than I know about Lord of the Rings. Fan. Watched that miniseries like so many times. Then of course the new movie. That's the cover. Spectre has the cover for the Dune book as his avatar. So I recognize
Oh, okay.
that. Garrett, I think that would be great. However, I think it makes type series. Yeah, the problem with TV though, you can only go so far with the grandeur or like the big set pieces or the cool shots or the cinematic shots with the like if we wanted the Conan, if we wanted the perfect Conan movie, I don't know, I don't think we could pull it off. Like what I really wish a movie director wanted. Like he couldn't pull off like a Dune movie style. You know what I'm saying?
Okay. Yeah, I'm just thinking a lot. Now, what I see it as is there's one of two options. If you're wanting to go live action, HBO could work, but in people like John Milius, Bruno Heller, like some of the Rome guys to come in and do and kind of do it. And primarily people who love Conan and Howard, like John Milius obviously did. And I just include Bruno Heller and some of the other Rome series guys because they were really good at the production and whatnot of Rome. But if animated, like I think animation should be considered as a possibility because people really underestimate what can be done with animation, especially here in the West, because we often think it's just kid stuff. But if you look at, heck, the Batman Under the Red Hood movie was very kind of R-rated. And it had blood in it. It had lots of death and killing and whatnot. So if you got that kind of, like a Judd Winnick guy who wants to see it produced, you can certainly get it made animated instead of live action. And animation allows you more to do more in a way. Like that's fantastical.
Yeah. I just got to thinking about Red Nails animation. Isn't there was there going to be an animated movie?
I think so. Yeah, I've seen pictures. I think we've used some of the art in some of our videos.
But was it finished? Did it ever come out, or was it?
No, I think it was canceled.
Right. Yeah. Like that's what I. Yeah. Oh man, that's sad.
Yeah, very. It would have probably been great. Imagine if they used that to launch an entire series about every one of the stories.
Like animated is good and all and great, but I still think like live action is the perfect medium for Conan.
It's okay. Then again,
I mean,
it might also be good to get something like a BBC One radio drama, like in 1981 for Lord of the Rings.
oh, you mean in the Ralph Bakshi one?
No, this was basically done on the radio with various actors and whatnot. Like you did have music, like any other adaptation or something, but you actually had a narrator and someone reading the narration, and it's kind of like an audiobook, but it was like a radio production where you'd have for the Lord of the Rings one, you had like a voice actor for Theoden, for Frodo, for each of the characters, and they read each of the parts respectively. Think of it as a movie without the visuals in a way, but done on the radio or something. I know it sounds weird and whatnot, but like apparently it was a big deal back in the 80s. And I recently ended up listening to a great deal of it, and it was quite fun.
Yeah, I heard
And
the.
I think that there would.
No, go ahead.
No, after you. It's your channel.
No, I was just gonna say I've something completely different. I was just gonna say I heard the Lord of the Rings BBC. Sorry.
No, like I just think that would be maybe not as the main adaptation, but a side thing, like
Yeah.
maybe bring in Texans to do the voices or something, and like, and have like maybe even get Grimdark to do the voice of Conan, and like that, and because he's Texan, and you just do that and as a side thing, and to get people hyped up for maybe like a live action or animated movie or something. I think that would be really neat to do. Maybe we should do that on our channel.
Yes. I'd like to do more radio dramas and such.
Yeah, that'd be fun. Anyways,
Definitely.
there was an old Conan radio drama record. It was 4 stories from the comics. Oh, really? That sounds delightful. That's...
There's quite a few bands that have some Conan-esque stuff. Garrett, have you heard of The Gates of Slumber? They have 2 album covers with Conan on them, and they have a third one with a Frazetta cover on it. They're all about Conan and Frazetta and stuff like that. Kind of like doom metal. Let me see if I can find it. Fine, but yeah, continue. What were you gonna say?
I completely forgot. But I just meant like this kind of radio BBC One thing could be just used to market something like a bigger project. And because the Lord of the Rings BBC One radio drama, I think, was partially used to market, the actual Lord of the Rings stuff. But I'm pretty sure they were also using it to market like new editions of Lord of the Rings and something else. Like, I forget what. Oh, right. They were trying to get another adaptation of Lord of the Rings, but that fell through. And you just had the BBC One Radio 1 drama. And have you got any Conan statues or figures? They sell out in minutes, especially the statues.
No, that's
Nope.
very
Don't have the money for it.
expensive stuff. Frazetta one with the Conan on the horse, it's like almost $1,000.
Yeah, I've seen a call one which was like thousands, and couldn't afford it.
A little pricey.
Yeah. Call's nothing. Like, he's nowhere near as popular as Conan, but for him to have like $2,000 or something for like a figurine of him, and it was like, wow, how does that sell that much? Yeah. Looks like we kind of split the fandom a little.
Okay, this is the Gates of Slumber.
Oh, wow.
There. Yeah, it's the Ken Kelly Conan Circle of the Black. Wait,
My foot.
forgot. And then he has also, yeah. Let me see. Stop screen sharing. Let's get back. Conan. Yeah, I mean, animation would be cool. I would welcome it. I mean, anything Conan would be awesome. I mean, good if or even decent stuff, even okay stuff, as long as it's
Yeah.
not, you know, destroying the character completely. Then it's not Conan.
I mean, I don't know if we've ever seen some Conan animated thing that.
Yeah, I already told him we watched that first episode.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
I'm gonna watch it. I'm gonna watch it.
the first episode did not impress us, but then because we posted the video today, and there was actually about 2-3 people in the comment section who actually said, yeah, the first episode's not very good, but you got to watch past it. It gets better later. So
Yeah,
Maybe we should do that.
yeah, because apparently we were a little, because we ended up just saying, oh, this is terrible.
That
But-
some of that '90s cheesiness,
Yeah,
it's
but
not appropriate everywhere.
yeah, Conan should be darker. But apparently a lot of the comment section, it's not, it doesn't have exactly the Hyborian Age feel, but it's something that it's still a worthwhile experience. You should give it another chance, but basically look past the first episode. The first episode's terrible. Watch the second or third episode, and then it starts to get fun. And
right.
okay, so I basically told a lot of people in the comment section, all right, I guess we judged a little too quickly. We'll have to give it another chance. So, but
Yeah.
we were told as well in other comments, watch the live action one instead. And it's like, of course.
You mean the TV series?
Yeah.
It's cheesy beyond belief,
And
but
when
but
Yeah.
I
can't get cheesier than that first episode of the animated series.
I mean,
Don't
that's
tempt
for the
it.
kids. I mean, that's for the kids though. So, but you gotta take it with that mindset, kids mindset, basically. Did you guys watch? Yes, I own Fire and Ice. Good fantasy movie, animated. Have you seen this? Ralph Bakshi,
Yeah.
80s.
I've not seen it in about 20 years. Well, actually 17 years. I don't remember anything in the movie.
I've watched it once since it came after it came out, and I actually enjoyed it.
Okay, I just remember it's been years and years. I watched a portion of it. Then I watched, I think, all of it a few years later, and I don't remember anything. But people keep saying it's good, so I'm gonna have to watch it.
Yeah, the only unfortunate thing is they made Ralph Bakshi cut out basically everything, like all the lore building, every world building, everything of the story. Make it just 80 minutes.
Wow.
They cut everything out, and some say that stuff's still out there somewhere. I mean, not on the internet, but it's like in a vault or something. I mean, that would be so cool to get a reconstructed movie with all the lore and world building. Because when I watched that movie, it gives you nothing of the world and of the people in the world. You just get the basic story. Okay, this guy has to go there and defeat this guy, and that's it. There's nothing else. It's really bare bones. It's still really cool. Looks beautiful, but it's missing quite a lot. You can definitely feel it.
Okay.
No, bold. It's kids kind of stuff that kids love.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
I knew this is what Barbaro Renegado meant. I just meant I think Dan and I were just discussing the kitty one, but yeah, they would have to do it very dark with all the gore and sexuality and whatnot. And yeah, I definitely agree with him on that one.
Yeah.
Which it could be done.
Yeah, I mean, it can be done. Definitely. I'm not saying that, but
But that said, but I am curious because we just started reading some of the. Well, I just started reading a bit of the comics from the Roy Thomas era, and I'm just curious: are there any of the comics that actually get to the that do the dark and gritty and gory kind of storytelling of the original kind of stories?
I mean, it doesn't go that dark. I mean, the like Dark Horse is more darker than obviously 70s Marvel. But I love the 70s Marvel stuff. Like I for me, like terrifying and all that stuff, it kind of like I'm kind of over it. I'm just not. I mean, it's good in its place, but I'm just like everything's been turned very nihilistic. Every show, The Boys and all this Game of Thrones, all shows are really like
Yeah,
I don't care.
that's
There's no morals. I just kill you. I do terrible things to you. Who cares? Nobody cares. Everything's
that's not what
bad. Everything's great.
I misspoke.
So I kind of like that.
What I meant was, yeah, I agree with you. I'm tired of gritty nihilism. What I meant was, does it get like, is it faithful to the Howard tone and themes?
I would say so. I mean, the stuff I've read,
Okay.
like the Elephant Tower, it's quite early in the Conan, Conan the Barbarian in the 70s. It's really beautiful, looks great, and I mean it's absolutely beautiful. I think the art in that, but it is in the 70s style of Marvel. So if you're like looking for something else, then I would suggest reading The Savage Sword of Conan, because that's regarded as the darker, and it is the more truer version of the Howard pulp feel. Like that's the Quinn Thomas, but it's black and white, and the art, and that's the kind I see like perfectly capturing the pulp feel and the Howard feel, because Roy Thomas, like, he really adapts Howard the best, I think. No one has adapted better, because Roy Howard prose and wordings and stuff like that. He doesn't go mess about too much, like put himself into it. He respects the Howard's words, so to speak.
Howard.
Of course, yeah. Of course he
Yeah.
has. Of course he has to like chop up, but he still like respects it and puts it very close to it. So if you want, like, I think the most close to Howard, I would say The Savage Sword of Conan would be closest in the feel, black and white. That feels like pulp. The art looks like pulp. And then, yeah, like Barbara says, Dark Horse is it's in color, but it's also very close in the
The colors are great. To be quite honest, I'm actually very fond of the 70s Marvel era. Dan's a bigger geek of that era of comics
Oh
than
yeah.
I am. We just, well, mostly what we know is the Howard stories. So we're kind of new to some of the other adaptations. So it's
Yeah.
good to get your point of view on what's the best comics. We're probably going to read through as much of the Roy Thomas stuff as possible. And at some point also read the Dark Horse stuff.
Yeah, that's
Because I think it'd be good to get both.
I'll be looking forward to that a lot.
Yeah.
yeah, dude. The Dark Horse original shoes is just it's awesome. Like they begin when Conan is 90 to time or with the or is battling the Vanaheim raiders, and then goes from there to Hyperborea, and then uh, has original stories, and then the classic Howard into the span of the 50 that they get to a lot of the original stories.
Sorry about that. I just noticed it's getting dark here. Oh, that's bright. Sorry about that, folks. Oh, wow. Looks like there's a bit of a war in the chat for what's the best comic book adaptation. I'm kidding when I say that, though.
Yeah, I mean, A Place is the newest one. Kind of depends. The art is great in some places, other places maybe not that great. I was kind of disappointed with some of their wording. It wasn't really close to Howard in one of the stories. So it's not everything in the Ablaze, in my opinion. Yeah, it kind of like they added stuff that wasn't in the original story, and they changed the prose and stuff like quite a lot. So, but taste is opinions. We all have them. See, Royce Conan is too heroic if you really look. The Dark Horse one is more of a survivor than hero. Yeah, that is true. In that kind of sense. Yeah. But I mean, I like the hero factor. It's not that too much of like Conan is some just a hero in that sense.
Maybe to an extent, both are kind of true to Conan.
Yeah.
Because Conan,
as a kid, is very heroic.
In a lot of stories, you see the survivor. Like, I might argue from what I've read of. Well, I've just recently finished Red Nails. And there he seems more a survivor, same as in what was the story? Well, probably Black Colossus, and in Queen of the Black Coast, he's more a survivor. But then from what it looks like in Hour of the Dragon and Elephant Tower, he's more a heroic character. Because in Elephant Tower, ce qu'il fait, c'est que he does end up killing the one elephant alien, but it's a heroic act of pity in a way. He saves him from further torture and torments. So in a way, he's both survivor and hero. And there's all the times he saves, well, some of the ladies fair in some of the stories. So there are certainly tales where he goes, I think it's Yasmina or Yasmin, something like that. My memory is not that great right now. But he ends up doing quite a bit of rescuing. And it varies from story to story, I think. So maybe both Dark Horse and Roy Thomas are both kind of true to the essence of the character, just in different ways.
Yeah.
And
yeah, maybe the early Marvel stuff is into more of the heroic aspect of Conan, whereas Dark Horse plays more into the brutal survivor, the savagery, or the savage Conan, so to speak.
Hence the savage sword of Conan.
Yeah, I mean that's Mark, of course, but yeah.
Oh, okay, my bad. Still true for an advertisement, I guess.
Yeah, kind of depends. I mean, I like it all of that stuff. So had a problem. Lord of Flex said when I talked about the from the French. Yeah, the Ablaze comics is French. You guys know French, right? You're so you could get the originals.
Why? Nous sommes français.
Yeah,
We are French.
exactly. So you could get the original,
Yeah, we'll have to get the original.
from France if you want. A Blaze Comics, of
Yeah,
course.
that'd be something.
Yeah, that's the.
We'll have to read up, guys. And yeah, that would be interesting. French Conan.
I just finished collecting the
Ça,
Marvel.
ça serait magnifique.
Course started. Part of me wanted to check it out, but my wallet said no. The 300 plus Marvel comics were enough. Yeah, there's quite a lot of the old Marvel Conan. There's 275 of the original series, and then something close like that to Savage sort of issues of old Marvel Conan. Great. But there's a new collection.
Oh, French Canadian. But Lord of Lek.
By the way,
Yeah.
the Dark series they.
Well, the thing about being French is that in French culture, like kind of, there's almost no distinguishing, like, because culturally, like, you're French, so whether you're from Canada or Africa or wherever, or New Caledonia, the idea is you're French and you belong in a way to France. So it's like,
It's a little like France is the Holy Land in our minds.
yeah, in our culture. So it's like you're French Canadian, but it's like you belong in a way more to France than you do to Canada. Oh, another Canuck. I'm glad to see that. But yeah, like in French culture, yeah, you belong more to, like, in a way, you have more a link to Quebec and by extension France than you do to Canada as a whole. Not to say we don't like Canada, we love it, but like it's just cultural
Because
links.
some linguistic would say Franco-Canadian,
Yeah,
or Franco-Ontarian, but often it's French-Ontarian. And
but like the second, it's always French or whatever before anything else.
yeah, and sometimes we even omit the Canadian part.
Yeah,
Oh, I'm French.
nous sommes français.
And people don't ask any further from that. But to French speakers, you'd be able to tell the dialect is more Canadian.
Yeah. But yeah, Calgary's, from what I hear, really nice. So, grew up in Ontario, I know. Thought I could pick the accent.
Ouais, je suis certain.
Probablement. J'espère que t'as du Nord. It's like Singapore and China. In the end, culturally speaking, they're Chinese. Yeah, that's exactly it. Yeah. Either way, you belong to like the fatherland, so to speak. Like, just using the term loosely here. Yeah.
That's not at all like we have it here with the Finnish Swedish people. They don't consider Sweden the Holy Land.
Yeah. Well,
They're more broken off.
to our minds, you all look like and sound like Vikings. So.
Not the Swedes. No.
Oh, okay, not the Swedes.
Sweden, down. We don't like the Swedes.
Yeah, we've heard we have family who are from Finland, so extended family from Finland, so it's, yeah, they would share that opinion.
Yeah, the Swedes are like all that lady stuff. They're not the ones.
Go
No,
pillage
no,
and
no.
plunder them.
No,
Given
just
their pickled herring.
no, just kidding. It's an old rivalry between Finland and Sweden when we play ice hockey. It's the worst country ever. But
Well, but we all know Canada wins at ice hockey.
Oh, good lord.
not the last time they got their behinds kicked. Finland won.
I call foul.
Probably did get a foul or three.
Yeah.
But
But yeah, it's kind of funny. Like the Swedes also have their own. They think about Finns like we're just drunken idiots. Everyone over here. So it's kind of like funny rivalry. Oh, it's not serious though. It's not serious at all. It's just
no,
only serious when ice hockey is concerned. Then it's really serious. Well, otherwise, it's not serious.
great forward.
That's guys. Why do you think Conan is from the north, though? Why do you think specifically north was the chosen field? Do you think Howard had like more? I haven't read all his letters, obviously, but that he had more affinity, like to Scotland, Ireland, and stuff like that. So that's why he wanted the north be like the main character, or could it have been on Harkanian, or like it's interesting
Well,
to think about.
I think that with the North, I don't know if it was conscious or unconscious, but if you look at a lot of the Irish and Scottish genetically, in the Viking Age, they got raided, and you had the Vikings who came in and replaced a great deal of the population or intermingled with it. So it could be a nod. I like to think it was probably a conscious decision to a nod of sorts to this Scandinavian ancestry of the Celtic people. And the Scandinavians, when they came in, they ended up really kind of assimilating to the local culture and adopting it and intermingling their own with it. And especially in, I think, Scotland, which just really started to go in a different direction from Ireland around that time. And so I think that Howard was giving a bit of a nod, like that, to that northern heritage on the part of Conan.
Mm.
And yeah, I think it was a part of them not being from the continent, or at least different from most Hyborians. Yeah. In that regard, like, I also think there's a bit of a nod to one thing. America, or at least Texas's relationship, Texas in particular, their relationship with America and Europe.
Yeah.
Because Howard considered Texas very different from the rest of the U.S., which they probably are. They very much are. They have their very own culture in a lot of ways, and they're very different from the continent. And yet there are some minor similarities, especially because all Anglo culture seems to have a lot in common with each other. Not everything, just some minor differences, like the differences between Finland and, say, Denmark or Sweden. So there's these little differences. And so that you get like England, Scotland, Ireland, Texas, they're all different from each other. But at the same time, Texas is quite different from England. So I think there was also a nod there.
Yeah, fish out of water story. It's classic. Also, probably he wanted maybe his theme, like barbarism versus civilization, to show the corruption of civilization and of barbarism, though barbarism has its own downsides, obviously. But it has more stuff like purer. I love the quote, thinking about getting that where he says, civilized men because they know they won't get their skulls.
Oh, the discourteous quote.
That
I love that.
Yeah, because civilized, they can't get away with it, but in the insult someone's honor and stuff like that, you have to, there will be consequences. But you can take that to other things, like
civilized men are more discourteous than savages because they know they can be impolite without having their skulls split, as a general thing.
Yeah, exactly. But you can take that to different things, like there will be more immediate consequences if tribesmen
Yeah.
steal from another tribesman, or but a civilized man in a civilized world can get away with a lot more like evil stuff.
Yeah.
So I think
That's very true.
it's a good quote. So,
And Spectre here makes a really good point. Not sure, but weren't most barbarians in Roman times from the north? Yes, they were. That's another thing I think Howard was making a note about.
Yeah.
Thank you for pointing that one out, Spectre. They were from Germania and what we now call Denmark, and from
even
Poland.
more.
So like they were coming
yeah,
south through those regions. So there was a lot of Germano-Scandinavian, maybe I guess you could say what we to an extent Slavic, coming in kind of like typically either towards the Danube in the east, to the east of the Alps, or towards Gaul, is the ancestor of, well, our culture's ancestor in a way, France. So so you do have this northern nod, I think Howard is making, because Aquilonia, if you look at it as a bit of a metaphor for or figurative Rome, Conan comes south as a barbarian, a Germanic barbarian in a way. And
yeah.
that
reminds me of the Attila the Hun TV movie series. I think it was pretty good.
Oh, I seen it. It was not good.
Wasn't it?
Should I consider myself lucky I didn't?
I thought it wasn't that bad. If we're talking about the
Okay.
same one.
Oh, I didn't really care for it. I did like Aetius in it, though. I like Aetius as a historical figure, so I liked him in it. The actor did a great job.
Yeah. I mean, it was TV stuff, earlier TV stuff. So.
The disdain and incomprehension.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, it did provide some humor. I forget which short story it was, but I like how Conan at one point takes the one woman who betrayed him and cheated on him, and he takes her and chucks her into a garbage pile outside her home. Like, it's the first thing he does when he's free.
Oh, yeah.
He's like, yes. It's like, well, didn't you swear an oath to help this one guy? Yes, I did, but first I got to deal with this.
Gotta toss out the trash.
It's like I have priorities. It's like, before I escape from the city or I help anyone, well, that I'm paid to help, I'm going to first toss her into the garbage. Like, he doesn't kill her or harm her, but he does, like, give her quite the fright and just toss her.
That's the thing about Conan. He does have a peculiar sense of humor.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, I love that quote right there in the chat. I love Howard's legacy. His characters feel more like men than most men I know. That is a quote. That's really good. I like that.
Yeah.
Strength and honor.
And yeah, I think that Howard's characters, like I think the only author who made characters, especially male characters, who were as vivid as Howard's, was Tolkien. And while Tolkien did write a few female characters that were as good as Howard, I find Howard wrote better female characters. That being said, but you look at like Aragorn and Conan, they're very similar characters and they're very good. Actually, I'm currently looking at writing a script for a Aragorn Conan archetype comparison video in a few weeks.
That sounds really good.
Yeah. It's because at one point Aragorn boasts of destroying, I think it's Haradrim and Black Númenórean pirates, and you've got in turn Conan, who made a similar boast in one story of destroying pirates by the thousands as well. So it's like there's these parallel speeches at various points in their literature. I think primarily in Hour of the Dragon and Lord of the Rings. So there's a lot of weird parallels, though Howard and Tolkien didn't know about each other at the time of the writing of their respective stories. So it's quite interesting how the archetypes are like just have so much interlapping between them. So yeah,
Yeah, that sounds a great idea.
yeah.
Great
Well,
idea.
it's something that's going to take a few weeks to script, and then we both have to do the whole recording for it. So it's gonna take a while.
But
And,
it'll be good when it comes out.
yeah,
Yeah, definitely.
hopefully almost as good as your stuff.
Oh, come on.
Like, I love that Conan and the Mountain of Crom video.
Oh, really?
That was such a great. Yeah, I love that video.
Oh, thanks, man. Yeah, sometimes I think like everyone's like, yeah, they're okay. But it's good that people like them. Then.
I actually got to get going because I'm tired. I've got to get an early start tomorrow. But yeah, through from history mythology to create their fantasy worlds. It's a shame, but we do have to go.
Oh yeah.
So.
Oh yeah. Okay. It was really fun talking with you guys again. Really. Thanks for being on the stream. Did the connection go out completely? It probably did. Well, that was abrupt. Go on a bit here. That was funny. I've read that one. I can't remember. Or was it from that one where he something really stupid or stupid and Conan just laughs? Silly, weird humor. Let's see. Howard's work improved the longer his correspondence with Lovecraft went on. So did Lovecraft's. Yeah, I would agree with that. Obviously, two great authors. Man, I gotta read those letters at some point. It's probably really, really good. Have you read the letters, Lord of Fleck? Since you worded it like that, I would assume you have the 2 volumes of the complete letters of Howard and Lovecraft. They're quite expensive right now, but I hear they're really good. Yeah. Let's see. If you guys have any questions or some other things you wanted to discuss, we can chat a bit. Some of them are, yeah. There's a lot of them. A lot of letters. I haven't really been on my forefront to buy the letters because I've been buying the all this stuff, trying to get Conan and the Manhunters. It's like obviously the Ace paperbacks, collect all of them now. Is the classic one, classic Frazetta covers. These have the Elsbrog the Camp stories as well, and you get a timeline in these books. I would recommend these books for reading, and obviously some purists would disagree. They would want only the Howard ones and without any edits whatsoever. I don't really know if these have like edits to the Howard stories that are written only by Howard. They obviously have the edits for when Els Brog de Camp and Howard, where the camp writes or finishes a Howard story that was left unfinished or an outline. There's obviously the camp's story intermingled with the Howard edited, but I don't think I don't know if he edited that much on the original stories, the finished stories. I don't know. I'm gonna see. Yeah, still gotta read Jordan. His Wheel of Time books are pretty good. I read like up to the point of the 6th book, then it really started to drag them out. You could tell like the story just stalled. Couldn't get anywhere. Like 300 pages in the same location, basically doing nothing. It's like, dude, what happened? You had a good run, and all of a sudden you just start to stretch out. I'm sorry, Wheel of Time fans. I mean, I should probably try again at some point, but like, it felt like it's just dragged so much. It's insane to like keep going. Like nothing was happening. Maybe. I mean, to basically say the Jordan ones are the best after Howard. Like I've heard that quite a few times. Obviously because the camp gets a lot of flack. But some of the camp stories I've read have been pretty good, so like I can't yet give a final verdict is if the camp on the camp, I mean his stories. The middle ones where he's discussing dress colors are slow, but he brings it back, and Sanderson. Yeah, I mean Sanderson, that was a great choice by those people whoever made, was it Jordan himself? Well, that was a good choice because Sanderson writes really well. Loved his how am I forgetting what's it called, the what was it called? Was it the Mistborn? Wheel of Ages? Something. What was it called? Great 3 books. There's probably more now. Read The Way of Kings. Some else. So he's a good choice. Warbreaker was a great Sanderson 1 novel, standalone fantasy book. I really loved that one. Warbreaker was really good. But yeah, the middle ones were discussing dress codes. Yeah, but I think it was even before that. He was like talking about, I don't know, they were just in the same place all the time, and it was really dragged out. I mean, I definitely think Sanderson probably finished it really well. So that's a good choice. That was a great choice. Jordan's wife picked. Right. Yeah. It was his wife. Yeah, now I remember. Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Warbreaker. Yeah, you read that? Oh man, fantastic book. I don't know that. Yeah. Exactly. The magic was really original, wasn't it? The colors, but it had one spin on it. I think. Was it? It was really good though. Yeah, definitely. Too bad there was never a Wheel of Time TV series. someone just would make a great Wheel of Time TV series. Like I've heard it could be made. Maybe. But I'm making a good Wheel of Time series. I just I mean, I've looked, but like there is no show like anywhere. It's just too bad. Kind of like Conan. As of yet. One can only hope. Yeah. As long as the writer understands, yeah, well, that is what I mean. Respects them and is willing to give a good piece on it. It's all good to me. Exactly. Yeah, not make it. It's just how we're gonna get on. Yeah, dude. I mean, some probably give flack for me. I didn't even watch it because I saw some reviews like, just no, like, I just don't know writers now or whoever. These things can be so disrespectful for everything. Like, say what you will about Peter Jackson, and now know the brothers seem to have like. I don't really like the Jackson ones. If you're really invested in the lore, it's gonna maybe. But you know, you gotta make those Tolkien books are huge. You can't. It's if you're gonna make movies, it's gonna be impossible. You gotta leave out some. Like I know I heard the criticisms like Tom Bombadil isn't there, Faramir did this and that instead. But you know, then again, I'm not like a huge. So I can the lore. So obviously it's gonna appeal to me more because I don't know exactly. But then again, if it was opposite, I understand. If it was Dune, I know a lot about Dune. If so, like I know the changes they made in the new Dune movie, but they were still quite small, and so it worked for me. It wasn't perfect, but it worked. I really liked. But yeah, like what I was saying, it's so sad we will not get a Wheel of Times. Yeah, I don't either, dude. If they had made that right, it could have been one for the ages. But unfortunately, in my opinion, where we in entertainment, it seems like everything's written by a 10-year-old. Like all stuff sucks. They just are bad people. Everyone, I'm gonna make everything better. They don't know what they were talking about. They're so bad. Like it's weird people writing. I don't get it. Why would you like? Yeah, go figure. Who knows? People are weird. They just I don't know. I think people who like Howard, all you beautiful people in the chat, all you barbarians there, you know something about honor and respect because that's what Howard is about. So we can all probably agree on to respect the source material and the written story, because if we don't respect this, if we don't have this, like, who cares? Like, just make whatever. Let's take the Conan name and make him a Pict doing whatever. Like, no, it all matters. Otherwise, it's something else. It's like, oh yeah. You mean this one? Yeah, I bought this in like 2010, 2008, no 2000, 2009 or something. When did this come out? Bought this. It's a great book, this centenary edition. It came out in 2006, so maybe 2009 or 8 or something. I remember these came into the bookstore and I bought these. It's a great collection. It's fantastic. It has the if you notice from one of my videos, it has the map. Fantastic looking map. If I remember, did it have the unfinished ones? Oh yeah, they had the the draft ones. Wolves Beyond the Border, synopsis, fragment. It's so sad reading those fragments and stuff like that because they're not completed. And, what can you do? That's why I like I like the camp because at least it finishes and you get a story, even if it's not what Howard wrote. You still get like some kind of finish. So yeah, fantastic stories, fantastic book. Then you have the Call. This is fantastic. This edition. Definitely recommend this if you want Call. It's got fantastic. It's got great illustrations. Fantastic illustrations. So definitely get this book. Great. These Call stories are fantastic. Absolutely fantastic. It's kind of sad he didn't make any more Call stories, but I mean, Conan took over. But these are fantastic. Let's see. Canon most likely will disrespectful towards our bronze giant. The mentality, the values of nowadays goes against everything Conan represents. Yeah, agreed. It's gotta be. I mean, the guy who's running everything, Frederick Malmberry, has said that he will respect. He loves the lore of Conan. He loves Conan, and they're making a TV show out of him and Solomon Kane. As per this info comes from Midnight's Edge, who has interviewed Frederick Malmberry, he who runs everything of Conan. They've interviewed him twice, I think. So they are making, and supposedly the Solomon Kane TV series is gonna open in Africa. So at least they're not shying away from being in Africa. I mean, so, and he said it's gonna be good, but time will tell. Pressure, maybe, who knows? I mean, we just gotta hope it's gonna be great and not butchered. Yeah, I mean, I'm just really happy Howard abandoned culture. Yeah, I understand. Yeah, that's true. That's true. We got Conan, and we also have Call. So in the end, maybe the best. I just mean like because Howard wrote so many stories, like so many. He wrote so many stories. So, like, if you guys didn't know, he has like hundreds, or maybe not hundreds, but I think he had like many, well, almost something like that, sailor stories of sailors getting into fights and stuff like that. He loved writing those sailor stories, it seems, and they're full of humor and stuff. I haven't gotten around to read them. I just checked out a few of them. Sailor Costigan, I think, is one. I can't remember the other guy's name. So I just meant he could have made also like Call stories on the side when he made Conan stories as well. Yeah, Call is definitely close. He's also brooding kind of a character. So I mean, yeah, actually, I saw it for 20 euros. Don't know what it's in USA, but yeah. Here's the first volume 1. This is so good. Just, oh man, I really do think this gets closest to the pulp feel of the original stories. I don't know. That's just me though. But I think they get closest to the pulp feel of okay. Don't know what that says. But yeah. Let's see. Then I've been reading quite a lot of what is. Sorry, I've been reading that. Judge Dredd, the original stuff. I think this art is insane. Like, it's so good. Look at this art, guys. Like I was blown away. I was like, I have to get this. Probably gonna collect it, everything. Because these are just amazing. All these first black and white Judge Dredd stories and art. I'm just loving it. I've blazed through like Volume 1 and Volume 3 because I was waiting on Volume 2. Volume 3 came earlier, so I just started reading the third one, and I'm starting to read the Volume 2. And I mean, if you like great art with great stories, I would definitely recommend checking out the Judge Dredd. These are really cheap as well, and looking at how many pages there are, these are like 20 only, or even less. I bought like 1 for $5 used, but still. So let's see what you guys are saying. I like the fact Carl still exists in Constor as his ancestors, so he was not. Yeah, that's great. It's really good. And obviously in the Marvel runs, he comes back as well. Carl, I mean, I think they even interacts with Conan in one of those stories. Yeah. Yeah, well, that was a repurposed story, a Carl story originally. Yeah, that is interesting. That will be a nice thing to discuss with the brothers next time. Why did he choose a story where Conan is already king? Because you're kind of on the outside looking in a way, like getting to know Conan. I mean, so that's an interesting decision to choose him as a king before like introducing Conan. I mean, in a like more simpler setting. It's an interesting decision. That works. I love that story. Phoenix on the Sword. It's a great story. Fantastic writing in that. All right. Gotcha. But yeah, currently I'm gonna make a review out of this. Is the next one. This one. The first story is the Songs of the Dead. This is Dark Horse. It's just collected by Marvel now because they had the license until they didn't. But I definitely recommend this. I thought the story was a lot of fun. The sidekick to Conan worked really well, and I always say his name wrong, so I'm gonna look up his name because I always say it wrong. I don't know why. Alvazar. Yeah, Alvazar. I think he's a Semite. Shemite? One of the Shemites? From Zamora, maybe? No? Can't remember. Anyway, it's a good story. Great story. It's a recommend from me. All right. Once again, I just wanted to thank you all for hanging out with me on the stream, and thanks for the support and 1,000 subs. That's really cool, really awesome. I'm glad you guys have been enjoying the videos I made, and it's been a fun ride so far. And if you guys have any suggestions what kind of videos, I know we got one before suggestion. I've gotten some else, but gotta think about that one. But yeah, so Lord of Fleck, thank you. Barber, thank you. Spectre was here as well, thank you. And yeah, someone asked about Discord server. That's true, I don't have a Discord, so I haven't thought about that. Should probably make one. Those are pretty easy to make. But yeah, guys, it's been awesome, and you guys are awesome, and thanks for hanging out. I hope you like the stream. I hope you join on the next stream. Since the brothers joined this time, I think we were originally going to do tomorrow because he wasn't going to join, so that was a different kind of stuff. But anyway, I'm gonna announce when the next one is. So hope all you guys are gonna be on the next stream as well, and give some topic ideas to discuss and stuff like that. What you want to discuss, like it's all open discussion and stuff like that. But I hope all you guys have a fantastic night. It's night already here, so I'm gonna say a great and good night, and hail Conan, and I'll see you guys on the next video. Bye bye.